think you should also make videos called Lessons Animation Taught Us. But when you're 5, you might learn a lesson that sticks with you literally forever.
From my childhood, huh? Oh god, this decision's gonna be harder than my morning breakfast. Think. Whoa, wrong channel. This is my video. My family moved a lot when I was a kid. It was almost never a drastic move, you know? We didn't move from, like, the Midwest to the coast. But there were various reasons, financial and the like, that never let us settle in one place for too long. Moving around a lot has honestly never been a big deal to me. I don't think where we lived ever came across my mind as a matter of significance, part of which may be due to one of the upcoming segments. Nevertheless, we moved. Packed all of our shit in those beautiful neon plastic tubs.
The color of the pen that I hold in my hand is royal blue.
Threw it in the minivan and headed off. When we would arrive to our new home, we'd walk in and slam all the tubs along the wall, just setting up the essentials, of course, to save the rest for another day. Or another week. Month. Hell, there may be one still packed all snug in the basement somewhere. What was the list of essentials, you ask? Oh, I am glad you asked, dear imaginary engaged viewer of mine. Wait, why are you in my house right now? I hope you brought snacks. 1, the beds. No sleeping bags for this fair maiden. 2, the TV, because it was 1999, motherfuckers. 3, wait, there's no cable set up yet? No! 4, my mother's now vintage VHS copy of Looney Tunes. A collection of the greatest Chuck Jones had to offer, baby. It would always be a few days before we were fully moved in and our cable would get installed. So before that, and even before the couch would arrive, we sat our butts down on the ground and slapped that bad boy in there. Shit, and needs to be rewinded. 1 minute. Alright, let's go. So I'll keep this pretty simple. I'm not interested in the logistics of this one. Most of those controversial episodes were not really included in the collection we had, or if it was, my mom was clever in skipping over them. There are possible lessons I could have learned from Bugs Bunny as a character, or the way its content was presented to me. That's not what stands out to me from my memory, though. I can give you a, "That's all, folks," or "I knew I should have taken that left turn at Albuquerque," or a good old
"What's up, Doc?"
That's all because I got to enjoy Looney Tunes and all of its hilarity with that dear, sweet, slightly vulgar nowadays, to be honest, gem of a lady, my mom. It was our mutual love and enjoyment of the antics of a bunny, duck, cat, mouse, Martian, and hunter that gave us a connection, a bond that I cherish. Boy, am I a cheesy son of a bitch. Wait, shit, that's not what I meant. It stayed throughout my childhood, watching Star Trek, MacGyver, and Stargate all with her. I got a lot of things from her, including my love for all these series, and a disposition to headaches, and knee problems, and hearing problems. Worth it. And it all started with Looney Tunes. Every time we moved, every time we waited on the cable box, every time we were bored, every time a holiday rolled around, watching that with her made every new place still feel like a home, because I was always with my family. Now pay attention, this is gonna connect with my last segment too, and this will be on the test. I don't know about the lessons that Looney Tunes offers and whether it itself is something that should move on with me, but I do know for a fact that I want to take those moments and have that kind of connection with my kids so they can feel the love, support, and the same strong bonds that I was lucky enough to have growing up. That's right, screw you, Disney. Who needs you to learn lessons through their childhood? See, I'm special. Pokemon. Because what animation taught me is that cute things make great toys. There are a multitude of reasons Pokemon became the phenomenon it is now. So what did I learn from engrossing myself into the show back in the day like so many others? Other than every single word to the theme song. I think what stands out to me, but doesn't always get recognized, is the plucky fool himself, Ash Ketchum. I mean, he's kind of the perfect protagonist, especially for kids. So instead of looking at all the adorable Pokemon that littered my sketchpad, walls, shelves, and card binders, let's focus on what we all might have learned from this hard-headed numbskull of a kid. What Ash's character taught us was to have hope, passion, and a whole lot of cum. Passion. Don't worry, that joke hurt me too. But really, he taught us the most important lesson of them all. Ash is stubborn, reckless, and cocky at all the wrong times, but he's driven and compassionate at all the right times. They made sure to show us each time he did something reckless or stupid that he'd face the consequences and not run from them. Every time he would get bloated in the britches, someone would pop that bubble, but at the same time, encourage him to be better. His character taught me, in an admittedly cheesy way, to never give up hope. I may not be particularly talented, things may not be going my way, but as long as I keep pushing forward, as long as I never stop having my own Pokemon battles, things will get better. Even if I don't know what that necessarily means for me. He taught me the value of compassion for others, always going out of his way to help those around him, not being afraid to stand up in defiance to the world around him, then having the guts to rescue those in need even when it wasn't easy or simple. Look no further than the titular episodes 1, 10, 11, and 12. Other than being one of the reasons I loved Pokemon Yellow the most as a kid, these episodes showcased Ash as a human being, showing us that his heart is what defines him. You don't need to be gifted or popular or tough or suave to be who you wanted to be. What was more important was to have compassion for others, not being afraid to follow your own passions and to never give up hope. The last of which has gotten me pretty far in life, helping me keep my head above water no matter how bad it gets. Personally, I think Ash did the Pokemon brand just as much of a service as having cute merchandisable animals. But that's a tangent for another day. Let's go back further, shall we? Because while almost everyone can look back fondly at the impact of Pokemon, there's another story that ingrained just as much in my view of the world and others as Ash did for how I saw myself and what I wanted to be. A little lesser known film, Oliver&Company. Damn it. Well, to be fair, these guys are pretty inescapable when it comes to our childhoods. Back in the day, me and my brothers all had our favorites. The movies we would rewatch endlessly and hold dear to our hearts. Since this was mine, it felt like my own special movie. Something that set me apart and made me feel unique, at least in our family setting with, brothers and stuff.
I'm special!
So it's mine. You can't have it. Find your own goddamn childhood. Oliver&Company is a Disney movie from 1988, based off the Charles Dickens book Oliver Twist, which as a preface, I haven't read. The movie deals with themes of poverty, family, and freedom, but does it do so with the substance of the book? Well, a good way I heard this movie put was Oliver Twist without the biting social commentary, which, while said commentary is valuable, I'm okay with the lack of it in this movie. Seeing as I'm not sure how much of that would have translated to my prepubescent brain anyway. However harshly you could critique the film for having an admittedly rushed story which lacked the typical depth, charm, and polish of the Disney movies we tend to remember, the movie still works as an enjoyable flick for its younger audience. And even in its simplicity, there's plenty that it can impart on you without you even realizing it. Because while it doesn't have the usual intricacy found in Disney's cavalcade of animated movies, it also isn't as heavy-handed with its message and values as others could be. I like that the story doesn't resolve with a "and always be kind to each other" moniker. Let's get back on track though. This isn't my review of Oliver&Company. It's about how the movie influenced me growing up and the lessons that I learned from it. As I said earlier, on rewatch, I found that the major themes of the movie seemed to draw from its portrayal of poverty, family, and freedom. The impoverished setting is probably what let me relate to the characters and story as much when I did when I was younger. My family was never very well off, and even though my parents did their best to make sure it didn't seem like it, I was always aware of our status. This is just a statement of fact though, not a plea for sympathy or me bemoaning my childhood. I had it pretty dang good, and I have my family to thank for that. But to pull back on track again, that acknowledgement helped me connect to this story. What was nice was that it felt like their poor status wasn't looked down on by the movie itself. It portrayed each character, dog or human, as a real quote-unquote person, so to speak, with agency to their own status. Some were down on their luck, some owned it, some found a home in it. The film romanticized freedom to an extent with the main dog, Dodger, although it did right to not leave it completely unfazed through life and its challenges. That's a small part though. What was really important to each character in the movie is that no matter where they were or what their financial status was, they had a place to belong. It taught me that you can find family anywhere. It doesn't have to be blood, and even if you're alone now, that doesn't mean you always will be. It comes back to the hope I brought up earlier from the Pokemon segment. That might be the biggest thing I connected to and learned from many of my childhood favorites. That it's all gonna be okay. The song "Why Should I Worry" was one of my favorites. It was kind of just another Hakuna Matata in that it encouraged us to not let life get us down, not worrying too much about the little and big things, and to just live life how you wanted. Oh good God. Now we know it's all Lion King's fault for us good old millennials' disposition towards selfishness. Haha! Seriously though, it was this song and the movie's depiction of the characters that imbues one with that feeling of hope. They may be down on their luck, they may not have much, but they have each other. They know things will turn out alright, so why should I worry? Hey, thanks for watching, and thanks to Mikey for this awesome project. It really got me thinking about my childhood, and it was a blast to make. If you liked the video, hit those buttons and stuff to hear more from me on really anything, although it's mostly anime. Hit me up in the comment section and on Twitter with what you thought about my thoughts so I can think about your thoughts and respond so you can have more to think about. My name's Sean. See you in the next one.